Well, hello there, and welcome to episode 37 of my self-employment vlog. So what's been happening this week? Well, it's been business as usual. I've been continuing to teach, and I've also been working on a new collection of piano pieces for Alexa Madison to host on her website pianolanguage.com. And I'm excited to get that finished because not only is it a collection of piano pieces for beginners, but it also has some bespoke, custom-made drawings of animals, because each piece is based on an animal. My good friend Justin Towell is doing the drawing. So he's done some fantastic artwork, which is not going to be coloured in, it's going to be black and white, and then the pupil can read a little story, a little paragraph about the animal and its character to help them when they come to interpret the music, and then they can also colour in the animal as well. So it's a very nice kind of nice idea for younger children where they get to do lots of different things in one, basically. So I'm really excited to get that finished in the next couple of weeks or so and get that uploaded, so that's exciting. I'll soon be releasing details about my new Mike Oldfield book as well. I'm still in the process of putting a few final touches together. So yeah, that's been the main focus for the week that we've had so far. Now this is going to be a little bit of a serious episode, really. Apologies for the lighting, it's quite dark here, so I've got a little light next to me. I don't often like to talk about, you know, the political and, you know, the kind of current climate of things that are happening, but it's obvious to us all that coronavirus is still very much at the front of everyone's minds, and you know, obviously we are in a point now where we may also be going into another lockdown. We just don't know. Obviously parts of the country have been experiencing their own isolated lockdowns, but whether it becomes a national thing, I'm not sure. I guess I'm just really thoroughly sick and tired of all of it now. And there's lots of things that are getting me down about it. You know, not just the whole way that our life has changed. You know, I can kind of cope with that, really, that side of things, and the isolation and all of that doesn't bother me because I've always been a very isolated, kind of a solitary person. But I think it's the erosion of all the other freedoms that we seem to, well, I guess we never really had them in the first place. You know, it's sad. I've seen, you know, both sides of the argument. I've seen some people that are very much, you know, follow the guidance, do as you're told, you know, wear your mask and you know, follow what the government tell you. And then there's people on the other side who are, you know, very much anti-government because, you know, quite frankly, how on earth can you possibly trust any government? You know, it's shocking when you see, you know, some of the loopholes that the government are, you know, are achieving for their own aim and for their own end. You know, people within government who are flouting rules clearly and daily and just seem to not have any repercussions, and yet we are threatened with huge fines, and, you know, there are police now that are tracking us, and it's just, you know, I can understand why people are completely against the government guidance. You know, I get that. So I see both sides of the argument, but I'm just sick and tired of hearing, you know, from one side hurling abuse at others. And, you know, there was someone on a Facebook group who was very much expressing their opinion, which didn't follow the narrative. And people just were straight on them, just saying, oh, you know, how crazy they were and that they were just conspiracists, and, you know, just completely degrading this person. And it's not so much about me agreeing. It wasn't even that I necessarily agreed with a person. I would have to research their point in order to, you know, to see what my opinion is. But it's just how we have gotten to the point now where if you don't agree with someone, you just you know, pan them as crazy. And I'm just getting so tired of it. I'm so tired of hearing the word coronavirus or COVID. I'm just sick to death of hearing it. And I think I'm only saying what a lot of people feel, which is just, you know, psychologically now, I think it's damaging to us. we're all struggling. We're all preparing ourselves for the winter, and I'm normally a patient person. I consider myself a patient person, and things don't usually get me down. But this whole thing at the moment is a nightmare. I don't know who to trust anymore. In fact, I don't really trust anyone anymore. I certainly don't trust the government. I don't trust anything that they say. But at the same time, I'm not one of these deniers. I'm not denying the fact that we have this virus. So I feel like I'm in between a rock and a hard place. So at the moment, I'm just doing what I can do. I'm doing what I legally have to do. But I just have this strong knot in my stomach that just, I just don't really see. I don't see a light at the moment at the end of this ordeal. It just seems to be just constant. I don't think things will ever go back to how they were. And I think we're pretty much at that point now within our society where we're just going to have to change and adapt to a new way of life. I think the other thing that's been quite worrying is that there's been quite a lot more people testing positive nearby, near where I live, and it's kind of like, I suppose for a while now I've been sort of hearing about the virus from afar, but now it seems to have crept in very close to home, and it's having an impact on my teaching, because there are some people now who I teach who have come into contact with people who've tested positive, which means that then they have to isolate for 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks, I'm not necessarily seeing them. It's fine if they want online lessons, but some of them aren't able to do that. So I missed 2 lessons. So that has an impact on my income. Yeah, it's hard going at the moment. So I'm doing my best to keep things ticking over, and working hard. I'm planning to go out busking tomorrow. I haven't been busking for 3 weeks, but I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel about it. I think I'm going to see how I am when I get up. The weather's looking like it'd be quite nice tomorrow in terms of busking. I think it would be the perfect time to kind of go out and do it. But I don't know. Maybe people can leave their comments and let me know how you are. And I'm talking about the psychologically. I feel like we're being psychologically conditioned, and I'm not quite sure why or what the end game is, but I just feel like at the moment we're all being primed, and really tough times. And I think in 100 or 200 years time, the future generations looking back over history will be looking at this time as the time where society and our history changed. Did it change for the better, or has it changed for the worse? Well, that's something for our future generations to explore. But at the moment, I really don't know what it's going to be like for us now. I keep thinking, what's life going to be like in 5 years' time or 10 years' time? And I don't really feel particularly positive about it. And on top of that, you've got all this other crazy stuff happening in the world. You've got, in France, the guy who was beheaded. Everywhere you look now, and I'm trying to avoid the news at all costs really, but everywhere you look is just absolutely, it's just toxic. It's just toxic out there at the moment. And I was thinking the other day, of this planet, Earth is this beautiful place, this beautiful natural kind of creation. And I was thinking, what is it that makes Earth a horrible, toxic place? And it's us. We are the ones that have made this planet a horrible, toxic place. And I kind of understand sometimes. I hear about sometimes on YouTube I see these people who are like anti-reproduction, talking about how we shouldn't reproduce, and I kind of get it. I kind of feel like we as a species, perhaps maybe we need to gracefully bow out, start accepting that maybe we should stop going on any longer as a species, because look what we've created. We've got a planet that is just rife with corruption, and is being decimated by us, for us, and it's just we are the cause for all of this. And I'm sorry if this sounds all very, very pessimistic, and you know, if it causes offence, then I apologise for that, but I just feel like we just wonder whether we should be carrying on as a species sometimes. I think, you know, I don't really know what the future holds. Feel free to leave a comment, you know, based on some of the things I've said. As you can tell, I'm kind of feeling a bit lost with everything that's going on at the moment. And I know a lot of people are. And, you know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I am very much someone that doesn't listen to the narrative and just accept it blindly. I like to look at all possible angles. I like to look at all possible views. No one is crazy when they have their opinion, and I think it's a real shame that we bandy that word around when we don't agree with what someone is saying. So yeah, leave your thoughts and your comments. I know I've talked slightly at length here on this, and as you can probably tell, I'm not quite sure what I want to say, so sorry if it's been a little bit kind of rambly. That's just kind of how I'm feeling at the moment, but I will check in with you next week. Take care of yourselves, look after each other, keep safe, and I'll see you next week. Take care, bye. So today's Saturday, and on a Saturday, it's a day that I spend with my son Arthur, and today we've mostly been kind of having a lazy morning. We usually watch some movies if we can, because we can't really go out so much at the moment. We have lots of snacks and things like that. So today we decided to go out just to get a couple of supplies, and then we came across a Halloween section, and we came across these, which are called Ice Blasters. And me and Arthur do like our sour sweets, and there was a sour rating as well, from 1 to 5, and we saw that there were lots of ratings of 1 and 2, which we felt was perhaps going to be a bit too tame for us. So we did find these and saw they were a rating of 4 on the sour scale. So we thought, okay, let's give it a try. And well, Arthur's still finishing his at the moment, so I thought we could maybe ask him what he thinks of it.
You should definitely try it. It's definitely sour. It's definitely recommended for people that love like super sour stuff. Don't recommend it if you don't like really sour stuff, because this is like super sour.
And what was it like when you first put it like in your mouth?
Oh, I was going everywhere. It was like so crazy. I needed to like actually lick it instead of putting it in my whole mouth. I don't know who's ever in this whole entire world finished every single one.
And what flavour did you have?
I think it's lemon one.
And do you think it is 4 out of 5 on the sour scale? Do you think that's true?
No, 2 million out of a million.
2 million out of a million, yeah. And I would agree. I had some, and I made a silly mistake of putting the whole sweet in my mouth because I thought, well, it's not going to be that sour. And I got to tell you, I've never had such a sour sweets in all my life. It blew my head off. It really did. But Arthur's still, you're doing okay. He's sort of licking it slowly. I think that's the key, isn't it? Is to have it slowly and not rush it. So that's what we do on a Saturday. It's kind of crazy adventure time, isn't it? That's what we do on a Saturday.
And it is from Home Bargains. Where are we? So go there and you'll see some sweets. And then if it's called Ice Blasters, definitely get them.
That's it.
Have a good time.
This video is not sponsored by Home Bargains.